Hi Avish, how are you, my friend?
Hi, good and you, Sid. Good to be here.
Great stuff, man. Let's head on to our Game On series update. It's been a bit of a strange sort of weekend, you know. I never expected such weird results. If you look at the score lines here.
Yeah, Australia, India, if you look at those score lines, pretty emphatic wins for India. Sorry, for Australia.
Yeah.
Um, Judging by the performance, I think the toss was crucial, yeah,
Yes.
on both occasions. And Australia won both tosses, and they decided to have a bat. And if you look at those scores, they completely batted India out of the game on both occasions. Um, any score over 370 is a tall order for any team to chase, no matter what sort of players they have in their team. You got to get one guy there that's going to score that needs to score a big 100
Yes.
somewhere between 150 and 160. To make a game of it, and you got to have a couple big partnerships as well.
Yes.
I think you probably got to have like 200-run partnerships, and I think that's where India fell a little short here
Yes.
because nobody ended up in the country.
Yeah.
And going back to the Australian performance with the bat, I mean, a guy like Steve Smith, I mean, he's really, he's really transformed. Uh, you know, from the start of the summer, yeah, I mean, he's he's been in the form of his life at the moment.
Yeah, and he's been the
The
man
way
of the
he's
match
hitting the
for both of
ball.
these games.
Yeah, and I mean, the ease at which he's scoring runs, and he's scoring them better than a runner ball. I mean, much better than a runner ball. I mean, if you look at that 100 that he scored on Friday, it was of I think it was of 62 deliveries, and then
No,
yesterday was
no,
also
66 ball, yeah.
62 deliveries. So
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but he got to his 100 with about
Oh,
62
okay. Oh,
deliveries.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Okay.
he's scoring at a rate of
Yeah.
the innings that he played on Friday was a little bit of scratch, a little bit scratchy at the start,
Yeah.
but then he exploded. Once he got past 50, and he just tore into the attack. But yesterday's innings was a lot better because you saw the best of Smith. Those cover drives, those pulls. It was scintillating batting, square cuts. Uh, Square cuts through mid wicket, and it was superb to watch. And as I'm saying, the Aussies they batted them out of the game on both occasions. India, but I think one department that India would be disappointed in is their bowling. Um,
Yeah.
they looked a bit flat, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's kind of really
they
deflated.
they their fielding, yeah, their fielding and their bowling looked a bit flat. They weren't taking early wickets because I
Yeah.
think Australia really batted in such a way that they didn't want to give them early wickets.
Yeah.
They kept the pressure going, and if your opening pair is going to score 150 or 140, I mean that sets such a platform for the rest of the batting lineup. It makes things so much easier for the middle order. The middle order can come and play their natural game, and you saw a guy like Maxwell towards the end too. I mean, he just expressed himself.
Mm.
He went for it, and I think in a way that momentum pushed Australia to a score over 350, which is always going to be a tall order for any team.
Mm.
Uh, Batting second under lights. So yeah, India would be disappointed in their bowling very much, and their fielding as well has been a little bit, a little bit downhill in these last two games.
Yes.
But they, having said that, their batting looked pretty good. They made a good fist of it on both occasions.
Yeah.
And looking at the pitch, it was quite a belter. So full credit to the ground staff. I think they prepared two wonderful pitches here in Sydney. It made for good stroke play, and we saw high quality batting on both occasions from both teams.
Yeah, man, and I know I got this prediction wrong, and I'm willing to probably get this one wrong, but I think it's gonna be. I don't know why. I think Australia will probably win this series 3-0, or if India can win the last one, it'll give them some momentum going into the T20 because I had, let's say, optimism for this. But then I guess in hindsight, India were without some really key players like Rohit Sharma, and then you didn't have Kuldeep, and then you didn't have other players. I think it must have hurt them in that sense. But I guess it's one of those things. I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess they were probably missing Rohit up the order because he gives them such a great start with Dhawan. But having said that, any score over 350 is always going to be a mountain to climb.
Yeah, that's true.
I know Kuldeep is in the squad, but obviously didn't give him a game. So probably you would see a few more changes for that third ODI. But I think India, they've probably got an opening here now of probably winning a game and making it 2-1 because Warner obviously got injured yesterday.
Yes, and
He
and
twisted his
Cummins is
groin,
going to be
so
rested, so I don't
yeah,
think.
he went to
Yeah,
the hospital. Yeah, so I would think Warner is not going to make it in time for that third ODI,
yeah, he
and
won't
he's
make it.
probably not going to play the T20 series. Where
Yeah, hope
I
for the best.
probably going to see a lot of experimenting
Yeah, which is
uh,
okay.
before obviously the main event, which is the Test series.
Yeah,
So I
and
think
Cummins. Yeah,
Australia would probably,
yeah, and I think
yeah,
Cummins.
yeah. Look,
Yeah,
there's going to be a rotation policy. There's going to be a rotation policy from Australia and India because they want to get players fit for that for the Test series, which is obviously going to be a huge summer ahead of us.
mm,
So that eagerly awaited Test series, which is going to draw so much of attention, you know, in Australia, in India, and worldwide as well. So
okay.
I see a bit of experimenting in the T20.
Yes.
So yeah, let's see how it goes.
So let's get down to this series, which I know you probably don't want to talk about because it's probably so depressing. But your thoughts on England's win over South Africa?
Yeah, geez, man. If I look at the Proteas, looking at both games, batting, bowling wise, and fielding wise, I can't fault their commitment. Uh, Both games probably went down to the wire if you look at it. But I feel they were just lacking something in both games.
Mm,
It was either with a bat, either with a ball. Uh, I think they played a little bit better in the first one,
okay.
batting wise. They scored
Yeah.
179, which I thought was a good total. I thought it was quite a good total. And for the most part of that game, the Proteas were bossing it until that one crazy over from Hendricks, which obviously swung the game towards
Yeah.
its favor. And we saw it again yesterday, which was a bit of a scrappy game, to be honest with you. On a very slow wicket
Yeah.
in Pal. Batting first, they made 146, which was around 20, 30 below par. I think they'd be a bit disappointed with that score, Proteas. I saw the pitch, and batsmen really couldn't get their timing going on that pitch. It was just stop start, and that's the sort of innings that the Proteas had. That's how you would sum up that innings from them. It was really stop start. Nobody got a score of significance, and the England innings at a stage there was a stage there when they had England 4 for 83 and they were bossing the game, and then
Yeah.
here comes up Milan, and he takes another big over, another costly over, and this time was bowled by Ngidi, and that obviously swung the game completely in England's favor.
Yeah. His
They just
economy
didn't
give
they
that
just
away.
didn't
Yeah.
have enough runs to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the bowling figures, all those bowlers they gave it their all. Apart from Ngidi, who was very expensive, and I think he cost the game for for the
Yeah.
Proteas in the end. So there's, if I look at that squad at the moment, yeah, they're in a rebuilding phase. We've got to accept that, you know. But I feel they're missing some firepower, especially down the order. A guy like Miller to come in and score those quick runs down the order. They're missing that
Yeah.
because if you look at this England batting lineup, they down to number 11,
Yes.
and that's one of the strengths of the team. So yeah, it's tough times at the moment. Um, there's a few players that obviously are fallen sick with the COVID-19 virus, and that's obviously hampering the team as well. But having said that, you know, if they do play to potential, which I think they haven't done in these last two games, they can easily beat any team on their day. So
Yeah.
uh, they probably would target that third ODI and want to get a third T20 and
Yeah.
want to finish off with a winning you know with a win there. So it would give them some confidence going into the ODI series, which I hope that they could play a much stronger lineup, you know. And I would say the ODIs would probably help them to build a squad going forward. But yeah, at the moment, you really can't read too much into this. I mean, rebuilding phase.
Yeah.
They've got a big group of players, and they were wanting to experiment with players. It didn't work out with Hendricks. The
Mm.
Hendricks experiment didn't work out on Friday. I personally think Nokia should have played. If Nokia played, it probably would have given them a better chance of winning that game because
Yeah.
they had runs on the board, 179. They had
Mm.
runs on the board.
Yeah.
Yesterday, unfortunately, they didn't have runs on the board, but they fought pretty hard.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't enough in the end. 30 runs short of a pass score.
Yeah, man. I think once we get one win under the belt, and that too convincingly, it'll hopefully give them a boost for the ODIs, because at least with the ODIs it's a longer format, so you have some time to get into it. Hopefully the pitches are a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. I would say ODIs would probably give them a time to build in innings, get some confidence going, because that's what they need at the moment. They need some confidence. So, as you say, one win would boost that confidence.
And that to a
But
big win, not just any
England's a
win.
quality side. Yeah, of course. But any win under the belt
Yeah,
would obviously give them some sort of confidence, which they lacking at the moment.
yeah. And yeah, and it's funny because I would have traded what was I gonna say? I would have traded India's win over Australia and my prediction wrong in England if I could have had my way in that certain situation, because I was hoping to have been wrong on that prediction, but it happens.
Yeah, definitely happens.
Yeah,
Cricket's a funny game, and sometimes
yeah,
predictions don't go according to plan
yeah. I've
because
been
it's
quite
it's all about the
lucky.
situation on the
Yeah, I've
day
been quite lucky. I've had two predictions
and the
right
wicket.
here. I had predicted New Zealand to have won this West
Yeah,
Indian series, as you can see, and they've won convincingly.
yeah. Look, this was a really strange game, especially the one on Friday, where if I looked at the Windies, it was a reduced game because there were issues with weather there, which is always the case in New Zealand
Yeah.
at this time of the year. Um, the Windies batted so well to get to 180.
Yes.
And for a large part of that game, bowling second, they really bossed that game. They had New Zealand at 65 for 4, but they just surrendered the advantage there to New Zealand. And Neesham and sorry, Conway, the new guy, the debutant Conway, was also South African born. He played
Oh
he played
gosh.
first
Hey
class
man.
cricket here in
Everyone is
South Africa, and
flocking.
then obviously he went to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Nice
went to New
man.
Zealand and then he played first class, and then he was eligible to play for them.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the, the Windies really threw this game away. It was very disappointing to see because I did see a bit of this game towards the end, and they were just giving too many too many boundary balls away. And if you look at a guy like Bennett, and he went out of the park quite a few times. You know, he really got taken to the swat there. 2.2 overs for 50 runs.
Oh,
Yeah, that's just unacceptable in any format, be it
oh yeah.
ODIs or T20. Yeah,
Yeah.
2.3 overs. Yeah, so sorry, man. Yeah, so that was New Zealand. You know, he went for 2.3 overs, 50 runs. But I just want to go down to the West Indies bowling card. Yeah, um, there's too many expensive overs there as well. You know, Fabian Allen went for two overs. He went for 32. Williams went for 33. Paul went for 39. You know, nobody could play that. There was no bowler that was actually standing up there and saying, you know what, I'm going to take this game by the
Yes.
scruff. All the bowlers were going off the park, going out of the park. You know, Cottrell could. I mean, he can be proud of his figures there. 4 overs for 30, which is quite decent in T20s, but he needed some support, which he didn't get. You know, he
Yeah.
didn't get enough of that. And
Yeah.
in a way, I would say the shortened boundaries helped New Zealand in a way to chase the score down. And they
Yes.
did it with quite ease in the end. But the West Indies would probably be very, very disappointed. And I actually backed them to to get the win after scoring 180 for 7 in 60 or in 16 odd overs, which is like more, over 10 and a half an over. So that was that was a disappointing way to end the game for them.
Yeah. And I didn't see this game on catch up, even though I would have loved to, because 238 Smackaroo runs is a lot of runs.
Yeah, wow. This was a special innings from Glenn Phillips, the youngster coming to the side for this series. Super batting, power hitting, of the greatest quality. 10 fours and 8 sixes. He really destroyed this attack. As I say, on another ground, which obviously boundaries were much smaller.
Mm.
But if you look at those West Indies bowling figures, it's nothing to shout about. They went.
Oh, sorry, I missed it.
They went all around the park in that
Oh
20
yeah, yeah,
overs.
just oh yeah,
Yeah, man,
yeah. My God, it's like a funeral.
it was a really disappointing bowling display from them. And they tried out so many bowlers. I mean, look at it. They used 7 bowlers, but
Yes.
nothing worked out for them in the end. And
Yeah.
it was a huge partnership between Phillips and sorry, I just want to go up to that scorecard there quickly. Yeah, it was a huge partnership between Phillips and Conway. Yeah, I mean Conway's been so impressive so far as well. So yeah, they put on close to over 150, which is enormous in T20. Enormous
Yes.
numbers in T20, and 238 in 20 overs. They seem to be no way back for the Windies here,
Yeah,
because
man.
it's pressure from ball one, and
Yeah.
you're gonna make mistakes hitting a mammoth total like that.
Yeah, man. As a punting man, I would have been quite happy if I had just done New Zealand and, well, I don't want to say it because it'd be kind of unpatriotic, but if I'd done just New Zealand, England, I would have probably been a rich man. 2 out of 3 series. But as I said, I wouldn't have minded. I wouldn't have minded, like, trading Australia and the South African one. I mean, if India had won the Australian one and SA had beaten England, I would have been still happy with that result. Because to be honest, I wanted to be wrong on that one.
Look, I would have been happy if the Proteas won at least one game so far, and probably been 1-1. It would have made it
Yeah.
for an exciting
Yeah.
finish
Mm.
tomorrow. But it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
they seems to be something missing at the moment. So that is
Yeah.
why you're not getting that sort of results. I mean, the as I say, they scrapped hard.
Yes.
They fought quite hard, but
Yeah.
it's
So there's no
just getting
shame.
that
Yeah. I
that
think it's
that
just
result, or just getting
yeah.
over the line.
Yeah. I think once you get over
Yeah,
the
of
line,
course,
the
of
confidence
course.
will be off the charts.
Yeah,
And
of course, man. It's just cricket is the confidence game.
Yeah,
I
it
mean, winning
looks.
becomes a habit. You know, we always say that winning is infectious, and losing is also infectious at times. So
Yeah,
it's how you bounce back. It's how you bounce back. I'm sure they'll be looking at combinations and trying to get it right for the third game. And obviously the ODIs they've got a target there. That's going to be really important for them as well
yeah,
from
and
a
if you and
from
I've just
confidence wise.
yeah, and I've just looked at it from today's match, New Zealand and West Indies. This match was a no result because of rain, and if you can see here, Lockie Ferguson is the man of the series, player of the series, and then you have the comments from the players, if you can see here.
Yeah, Lockie was superb in the series. Hey, he took wickets in the power play. You know when it really mattered. He dislodged the backbone of that Windies batting lineup. So uh, that was he was a key player for them in the series. And I could have given it to a guy like Phillips, because I think his innings in a way just swung the series away from the Windies. But
Yes.
Lockie was so consistent in the series. So,
Mm,
you would say in the end he probably deserved it.
yeah. Yeah, man. Okay, what are they gonna? Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I think I think that pretty much wraps it up, except with the fact that I mean we can only hope for a better showing from, as I say once again, India for the last ODI, and then if they can win that T20, the one ODI, that'll give them some chances for the T20, and then for the Proteas, it's the same thing. They win the T20, it'll hopefully improve the ODIs, and then I think in New Zealand's case, I think they're pretty much riding high. I think they'll probably win the ODIs as well. I know I shouldn't write off the West Indies for that, but I mean New Zealand are just too damn good. So that's my outlook. I think SC are probably lacking killer instinct.
I
Yeah.
sorry, just to add something. I don't think they're playing ODIs.
Sorry?
Yeah,
Sorry, what you
I
said?
don't think they're playing ODIs. I think they're playing a two-test series. So
Oh, so sorry,
I
sorry.
don't
My
think they're playing.
apologies.
I don't think they're playing any ODIs. I think they're
Yeah,
playing a
yeah.
two-test series.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Oh yeah,
So
my apologies
uh,
for that.
I think New Zealand will be hot favorites for that.
Sorry, what you said?
Yeah, I think New Zealand will be hot favorites for that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Two
Yeah, I
test
was
series.
saying I
Yeah.
think New Zealand will be hot favorites for that. Yeah, because they've got those specialists in the test team. So yeah, I mean, even if I had to make prediction prior to the series, I would have given them favorites for the test series. The T20 format, I would think the West Indies would have been a little bit more competitive, because that's a format that they've been successful in over the past couple of years. So that's why I purely back them on that front. But however, New Zealand's batting has been scintillating in these past two T20s. So
Yeah, I had
congrats to them for winning the series.
yeah, I predicted New
Thoroughly
Zealand
deserved.
for I predicted New Zealand for two reasons. One is their dominance at home, and two, it's the grounds. You know, they know how to play on those grounds, those incy wincy grounds. Had they played maybe in the West Indies, I would have probably given it to the West Indies. But we all know what a strong team they are at home, so it's kind of like a for me it was like it's a given. But it's okay, it happens. Hopefully West Indies can surprise, do well in the Test series. I know they did well in England actually, so you never know. As you say, cricket's a funny game, and we'll just
Yeah,
have
I
to
mean,
hope.
sorry, just to end this and just to summarize, I mean, all these games.
Yeah.
Um, I would think the England and SA series so far has been probably the closest
Mm,
in terms of results. Both
you're
teams
right.
have been probably evenly matched.
Yes.
Both teams probably evenly matched. As I say, the Proteas are just missing that
Killer
that that
instinct.
that step of getting over the line at the moment.
Yeah. It's
That
just
killer
killer.
instinct. Yeah, they
Yeah.
killing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and T20 is such the nature of it is uh one good innings obviously wins you the game. So
Yeah.
I would prefer SA in the third ODI if they do win the toss, probably put England in and probably try and chase the score down. And let's see how they perform trying to chase the score down as opposed to setting score, which is a little bit tricky at the moment. I don't think they know what a good score is at the moment, and they've had issues with defending scores totals as well. So I'd prefer them to chase. If they do with the toss, they've been unlucky with the toss as well, just like how India have been unlucky in Australia with the toss as well. So if they do win the toss, I'd prefer them to bowl first, and then try and chase the score down, because it's a lot tougher defending scores in T20s. I feel these days, judging by the results that we've seen so far.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair thing to say, because obviously we'll never know until it's on the other foot for England, because I think England seem to love to chase, and I think if they bat first, but then I don't know. We'll only have to see what happens at the third one day, and God willing, everything turns out better.
Yeah, man, they sort of pride themselves in chasing the England side. They sort of pride themselves in chasing. They know how to set out a run chase. But I mean, the pressure is off the Proteas now. I mean, the series is over.
Yes.
The series is gone, so they can play with freedom. They can play with no pressure. So they've got to try and target a win, at least in the third ODI, and then it's all set up for the ODI series, and that's anyone's game, the ODI series.
Yeah. Okay. I think that it's pretty much it for today. It's been great having your company, and we will chat soon.
Thanks for having me, Sid. You take care. Chat soon. Cheers.